Alright, I'm back. We got some Trapdoor. This one's called Glowed Up. This is a Northeast style IPA or a NEPA. And coming in at 6.8, so close to the perfect ABV, 6.9. So this one here looks like we got, as far as malt goes, we got 2-row, pills, wheat, and oats. As far as hops go, we got Amarillo, Citra, and Simcoe. They make a mention that it's 6 pounds of hops per barrel, double dry hopped, and hella juicy. So there's a look at the kind of collage of various items on the label here. This is out of Washington, which is where I live. They're not like super local to me. They're actually closer to Oregon, across the bridge from Portland, Oregon. But very good brewery out of Vancouver, Washington. This is a great beer. I already got it cracked. It was actually my shower beer, so you could kind of get a look at the tail end of this thing. Kind of a bright yellow hazy IPA right here. Still a bunch of citrus and very fruity notes coming off the top. And I've featured this one on the channel before. It is hella juicy, just as it's described. Alright, good to be back. We got Purely Skinful, Fougere Luxe, and this one made one of my top scents of the year lists for one of those years that I did it. It says right on the tin, beef tallow, lanolin, shea butter, shaving soap, and I should mention right off the rip, this is unobtainium. Sorry and shit. Purely Skinful went up and shut their doors. I don't know what the hell, why they would do that. They had amazing products. They were one of my favorite brands out of Canada. I don't know. Shit happens. Maybe they just found other revenues, other ways to make money. But you can still find them making proprietary products for Stonefield Shaving out of Canada, which is another great retailer for various wet shaving goods. So, anyways, a little bit about the scent notes. One thing I always loved about Purely Skinful is that they put the scent notes right on the tin, but they did it in a way that also is describing the scent very well. It's not just black and white. These are the notes. So clean and fresh masculine blend with bergamot top notes combined with lavender, juniper, wild fern, fir needle, tonka bean, and black pepper. And one thing that I like about this Fougere is it's a bright green Fougere. It's not like a Fougere of old. It has this effervescence to it, this sparkling nature about it. Very good for the spring and summertime. I got it all whipped up right here in my Thirsty Badger shaving bowl. Been a while since I used this bad boy, but I figured since I'm using one product out of Canada, might as well use my shaving bowl out of Canada. We have a very creamy, dense, luxurious looking lather here. This beef tallow formula is legit. This is my Lancaster Razorworks shave brush right here. Let me get a little bit of two-hand action. We got the double flutes going on, if you didn't notice. Flutes around the base, flutes around the ferrule. One of a kind. Never been done, if you will, before me anyways. And this is my death brush. It's part of my Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse collection. And this one has that tall, slender shape with the pale green, which is what Death arrived on, a pale green horse. And then, of course, the Grim Reaper kind of has that black cloak silhouette. We got the Lancaster V1 Badger knot on top. One of my favorite knots in my entire collection. Just a wonderful, functional piece of art right there. Let's go ahead and bring out the Bougie Chill Mill, the Chiller and the Pillar, the Menth Dealer. It's been a hot minute since this was featured on the channel, so you know I had to break it out. This is a menthol grinder, if you will. You can see there in the chamber, it is chock full with ground menthol crystals. We got this pump action slender grinder right here. So we just pump it up. And we're gonna go buck wild because summer or spring is really, the groundhog has put on some fucking beach trunks and he is ready to, he's ready for the summer. So you can see all that crystallage, that even coverage. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's getting hot. I kind of have a little bit of glaze on my forehead from the shower steam. It's just hot in here. I got my screen door open beside me, but it's getting warm. Today it was up to like mid 70s, and by the weekend we're going to be getting some 80-degree temperatures. So not looking forward to it as a fat man. I am not a fan of hot weather whatsoever. Anyhow, I've been gone for a couple weeks. I've still been shaving, but in all honesty, not a lot. Maybe once a week. I probably have a week's worth of growth right now, or close to it. I just got back from a week and a half long vacation where I went to Moab, Utah with my dad and some family friends. And we went to the famous Utah, UTV side-by-side off-road trails. And, this was mostly my dad's idea. He kind of talked me into it. He said that the expenses would be low considering he was paying for the gas to drive there, to drive his fifth wheel down there, his toy hauler. And, there really wasn't much expenses other than just food and drink, chip in for gas here and there for the side-by-sides or whatever the hell, dinner. So it was hard to say no. I had the vacation time. I didn't have any other plans during that time, and it would be a cheap vacation. So, of course, I went, and man, oh man, it turned out to be a fucking blast. Now, I might not talk a ton about wet shaving in this video, because truthfully, I got a lot of videos about wet shaving, and I've been away for a while, so I'm going to talk a little bit about what I've been doing and what's going on. But first, let's talk about how my vacation went. It was a blast. We were in the fucking desert, but they built this city around these off-road trails, and it was just a fucking blast. We had 4 side-by-sides out there, 4 of these off-road vehicles. We hit a couple scenic trails the first few days, a couple 2-hour, 3-hour trails back to back. Made a day out of it. Brought beer in the coolers, brought some snacks in the coolers, and kind of had a picnic amongst all of the scenic views. We would get up to the top of some of these fucking mountains and just, I swear to God, you could see the whole fucking state from there. Just so vast canyons. It was badass, guys. We got a nice medium menthol chill already. It just shot right up to medium. Feeling great on the skin. Today we're going to be using my first ever Schick Injector. If you don't got yourself an injector, do yourself a favor and get one. eBay, Etsy, buy, sell, trade, whatever. However you can get yourself one. They're usually fucking cheap, under $50, sometimes under $20. Don't be scared of a little bit of soap scum, a little bit of buildup, a little bit of residue, a little bit of fucking soap and a toothbrush. You get that off, it looks like brand new. So we got a supply shaving injector blade. No idea how many uses I got on it, but I used it while I was on the road. This is a great travel razor, by the way. And it still felt good during that shave, so I'm going to use it again today for this shave. Anyhow, so we saw, they call it the Canyonlands, kind of a national park type area. And that place had a ton of these huge, sprawling views of huge canyons. And then we went to another place called the Arches, where these natural bridges occurred just by the way that the mountain was kind of falling apart or deteriorating from the different compounds of rock, the different layers of the earth. There was different deposits that were weaker than others, and so they would give out underneath, but the more solid structure would create this natural land bridge. So we saw that national park that was called the Arches, which had a nice collection of these bridges, natural forming bridges, or natural forming arches. Then after that, we hit the town, and of course, there was 2 breweries in this little desert tourist town, and of course, I scoped them both out, and we visited both of those. The one named Moab Brewing was good. They had decent food, decent beer, but one rule of thumb that I've found to hold pretty true, like 90% of the time, if you name your brewery after your city, which is very uncreative, it's a good indication that your beers are going to be uncreative and very average, just in my experience with craft beer. And that was very much the case here. The beers were decent, but they were basic bitch beers, and nothing special about them whatsoever. Now, the other one, which is pretty brand new, opened this year, earlier this year. Same, decent food, but a much more modern styling and design. They had a restaurant area and then a dedicated bar area, and they were totally detached, so you couldn't see one from the other. And they actually had a nice variety of beers on tap, but what was cool was that they had a ton of they were like a impromptu bottle shop or can shop tap room as well. So there was a bunch of stuff that you could buy like in can or in bottle from other breweries around the region. And so that really expanded their tap list as well. So I got to try a lot of decent to good beers there. So that was actually a bit of a surprise, but a very welcome surprise. And then on one of the later days of the trip, we booked a jet boat ride, which was kind of it was my dad's idea, but something that I was 100% down for. On a Mexico vacation I had one time, we were at this kind of resort place by the beach, and we were getting, what do you call it? Not really a pedicure, but there was like this fish tank, and you put your feet in the fish tank and the fish like eat away the dead skin. Might sound gross, but that shit felt great, and my feet were like baby soft afterwards. That shit was legit. Anyway, so we're getting our feet ate. We're getting our feet ate out by little fish, and we're staring out on the beach, and something, a fucking jet motor, just breaks the calm of the otherwise very tranquil beach scene. You could just hear this jet engine, wah, And then out from around the bend, there's this fucking jet boat just hauling ass. And right then and there, I was like, oh my God, I gotta do this shit. I didn't end up doing it on that Mexico trip, but that was the first time I saw it in person. And ever since, it's kind of been in the back of my mind for like vacation ideas. And so when we were there, and my dad brought that up, I was like, where the hell did that come from? Where did you hear about that? Where did you think about that? And he just saw it on one of the various like tourist brochures or whatever. Anyways, the menthol's kind of like at a medium high now on the second pass. Feeling very good on the skin. Very nice chew. Anyways, it was about $115 per person for a 2-hour adventure. We met up. They gave us a splash jacket, which covered your top half, and then a life vest. They could fit about 8 to a boat. But since it was a cloudy day, it was still about 65 to 75. It was still a warm day, but because it was a cloudy day, they didn't really have a lot of business. So we took 2 boats, 4 people on each boat, which we were against at first, but they sold us on it. They definitely told us, you know, you're gonna enjoy yourself more 4 people to a boat. I know you want to be with your family and friends, but the boats can handle so much more. They can do so much more. They can go faster when they're not bogged down by the weight. And boy, were they right, man. They were just ripping across these waves, stopping on a dime and doing like a wheel, not a wheelie, but like a donut in the middle of a roaring river, the Colorado River. They would just stop on a dime and just fucking rip it to the left or rip it to the right, and then the wave would crash over the boat, and then they would just haul ass out of there. Or they would kind of fake you out by driving like right towards a rock in the water, just right towards that motherfucker, and last second turn away from it. I was amazed by how well those jet boats handled in the water. It was like whatever they wanted them to do, they would just do it. No matter how choppy the water was, it was something to see. And after a while, after I got the initial shock out of my body of like, oh fuck, he's heading right towards it. How's he gonna pull out of this? After he did it a few times, I was like, nah, get closer. I was like, I want to see what this is really fucking made of. And then they did this thing where they said, you know, he told us like, you guys want to get wet? You know, this water's pretty cold. It's a pretty cloudy day. You guys want to get wet? And my boat had the younger half of the group, and we were like, oh yeah, let's get wet. Let's do it. And this guy, you know, he obviously didn't think we were going to say yeah. So he pulls over, offers us a drink, and he's kind of telling us a little bit about the scene around us. You know, these mountains, Bon Jovi was up on these mountains during this video and all of this bullshit. Really cool stuff, but I don't have time to go over it. Anyways, so he's telling us, you know, you want some drinks, and this is what happened at this site here. And then all the while he's doing this, he's putting on another layer of like wetsuit. He already had a splash jacket on, but he's putting on another layer of wetsuit, a pair of waterproof pants, and he's zipping up tight. And we're just like, what are you up to? What are you up to? And he's like, all right, you guys, so you said you wanted to get wet, right? We haul ass to the most choppy section of the river there, the most choppy section of the adventure part. And he just kind of like idles over a few of these like waves. And then when he gets on the downturn, he fucking gasses it. Boom! into the fucking water, and the shit just roars over the top of us, and then we blast out the other side. That was some fucking wild shit, man, and so much fun. Yeah, I just had a blast, and I know I've just been ranting this whole time, but it's been a while since I saw you guys, so hope you will forgive me. I do mean to make more videos, and there's a number of reasons why I haven't been making as much videos, but I'm not gone, I'm just busy. So let me go ahead and rinse off, and I'll let you guys out of here. A Lancaster Razorworks Black Sheep Towel. Here's one of his newer towels. Absolutely love this thing. Anyway, so I had a great time. Still been shaving. I haven't been buying anything because money's been tight and I've been busy. I've been on vacation, and my mom moved back to town after being away for a decade, and I finally started making an attempt to date again after the divorce. I finally started making an attempt to date again, and I've been talking to a chick, so just been busy and not as much me time. So it is what it is. The channel took a hit, but I'm not gone. I'm just busy. Let's do a little splash of my favorite aftershave in the entire game. Purely Skinful matching splash. This is Fougere Luxe. This is a witch hazel aftershave. Let's see. There's a look at the ingredients if you're curious. Very good stuff in there, and we got an industry standard quality restrictor on top. No shit strictors here. We'll go ahead and get that milky white colored and textured splash rubbed in. We got a nice residual chill on the skin, and that was just a wonderful shave, a flawless shave. A week's worth of growth gone with a Schick Injector. No clogs, no troubles. If your lather's good, your shit shouldn't be clogging. Doesn't matter how much growth you have. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. Thank you for sticking by me, even though I haven't been making much content these last couple weeks. And I appreciate you. Haven't forgot about you. Still here. So, cheers, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.